Fasting. Though it is a true sacrifice that can sometimes take a real toll, fasting has the ability to comfort many hearts and save a multitude of souls. For the more just one person chooses to deny themselves by temporarily abstaining, the more consolation and sanctification all of humanity will consequently be attaining. Through fasting, those struggling in doubt are given truth, those sulking in depression are given positivity, and those suffering in purgatory are given relief. As God's boundless mercy and manifold blessings unfold and uphold those caught in a spiraling cycle of guilt and grief. And while those who fast may experience weakness and weariness, they win for others solace and strength in their darkest of hours. Since when and where fasting is practiced and promoted, the devil loses his patience and power. And oftentimes, the hurting and hardened human heart can only be finally cracked open by being first broken apart. Thus, the only way to inspire profound contrition and exact a particular conversion may be through heartfelt fasting with all its potential exhaustion and personal exertion. Indeed, the ends of one's hunger pains may be the beginning of another's hungry prayers, especially if offered in all simplicity, humility, and serenity, for only heaven to witness, admire, and share. Yet in addition to remedying and ransoming others from Satan's sickening hatred and hell's slippery slope, fasting can beautify and brighten one's own soul to become a bearer of healing and a beacon of hope. For willingly foregoing earthly delicacies and withholding from worldly delights can lift one to heroic levels of holiness and eventually even heavenly heights. Since detaching one's body from all that is here below attunes one's mind to the insights and inspirations from above, and subduing the flesh with its demanding human desires allows the spirit to be suffused with a liberating divine love. Truly, no one could ever imagine the infinite, indescribable rewards to reveal to the vast celestial feast, which correspond to and compensate for every last little act of restraint and renunciation, even the littlest and least. Because while physical pleasures come and go almost instantly, spiritual treasures occur and endure for all eternity. Of course, there is a time and place for generous meals and joyful celebrations. But fasting only enhances and ennobles these through the deepened gratitude that comes from delayed gratification. Still, the best kind of fasting is not from food and drink, but from one's own prideful ego and selfish will. The God of both the universe and the Eucharist may become one's soul's sweetness, portion, and fill. So although from afar it may seem like a daunting and difficult task, in reality, fasting once or twice a week isn't really all that much to ask. After all, fasting is not about starving oneself to the point of being depleted and drained, but rather avoiding extravagance and excess, so as not to be fully sated but simply sustained. And when one starts to become bored with or even burdened by the taste of water and bread, he or she must simply think of the Son of God, whose body was utterly shredded and blood was entirely shed, so that all of us, his children, may be free from the slavery of sin and enter the glorious kingdom of grace, to be able to take up our crosses willingly with and like him, until as many as possible are safe in the Father's all-forgiving grace. Yes, only the Lord himself can see the full effects, irreversible and everlasting, of even one's subtlest, smallest efforts to emulate him in a life of prayer and fasting. So, if you surrender your wants, your whims, your whole self to him, and let him guide you in this holy endeavor, through your fasting, Jesus can rescue many a soul and renew your own and truly change this world.